All right, so this is the second part of 7.3. We are still working with rationalizing the denominator. So the rule here is you cannot leave a square root, nor can you leave a cube root or any other sort of fourth root or fifth root in the denominator, although we're going to only focus in with square roots and cube roots. We did square roots last time, and now we're going to be working with cube roots. So this one here, you got to kind of think through this. You need 3 2's down here. You only have a single 2 down here in your denominator here. So I'm going to have to multiply both the numerator and denominator here by the cube root of 2. And then I got to do another one because I need 3 2's down here because it's a cube root. So if I do that, down here in the denominator there, I really get 2 times 2 times 2. There's 3 2's. So if you want to pull the 2 out, you can now do that. And then at the top there, you get the cube root of, multiply them back together, 2 times 2 times x there gives you 4x. Another way to kind of look at this, up here, you get 4x, but down here, if you put those 2's back together, 2 times 2 times 2 gives you 8. And the cube root of 8 is 2. So, and again, it's just because you got a pair, you've got all 3 of these. Remember, you're looking for 3's. So you got 3 terms down there. You can now find the cube root of 8. It gives you 2, because 2 times 2 times 2 gives you 8. All right, same thing down here, except I'm going to pull this apart. I'm going to rewrite this as the cube root of 5 divided by the cube root of 3x. Because I can't really divide 5 and 3x, and I can't reduce that down, so I'm just going to leave, I'm going to pull it apart so I actually can work with it. So looking down here, I can't take the cube root of 3, I can't take the cube root of x there, so I can't leave the cube root down in the denominator, so I'm going to multiply the numerator and denominator by 2 more cube roots of 3x. So now what happens, you've got 3, you've got cube root of 3, cube root of 3, cube root of 3, and you're doing a cube root of it, so a 3 comes out. You've got cube root of x, cube root of x, cube root of x. You've got a group in there of 3, so I can pull the x out. At the top there, I don't have anything that occurs there 3 times. I've got a 5 once, a 3 twice, and an x twice. So I have to put all of that back underneath the cube root. So 5 times 3 times 3 there gives me 45 x squared. And I can't break down 5 or 3 any farther, so that's as far as I can get, and there's nothing in there that's 3 of. So there is my simplified answer as much as I can do that. And again, you can't leave the cube root down in the denominator, and in that you had the cube root of 3x down your denominator. We couldn't leave it there, so we had to rewrite it. So you could pause the video right now and do a couple of these practice ones. All right, so let's go ahead and go through these practice ones here. So I'm going to simplify this as much as possible before I do anything. So, and 15 divided by 3 there is really going to give me 5, and the bigger number is at the top there, so I'm going to make this a 5. And then, and I could pull this apart if I want to. I could do it like this. So that now I'm going to take care of the division portion there first and then do the square root at the end. So the 15 and 3, I could just divide it out and I get 5. Now I can do 60 divided by 12 there. Ends up giving me a 5 underneath the square root. And there's 60's larger, so I'm going to put the 5 at the top. X to the 5th divided by x to the 1st. If you remember, you subtract those powers. So 5 minus 1, there's 4. There's more at the top there, so I'm going to put x to the 4th at the top. So now I've got 5, so there's nothing down in the denominator. I can put a 1 down there, but I don't need it. And then don't forget I've got this x to the 4th now here to work with. So square root of x to the 4th, remember, that's like, if you want, you can pull it apart. You got a pairing here, so I've got a pair of x's that pulls an x out. I got another pair of x's that pulls an x out. I'm with 5 back in there, so I really get 5x squared square root of 5. And then another thing you could do, like I said before, if you like, with the x's, you could do 5, and then 5 stays under there because it's square root, and then I could do 4 divided by 2 there. 4 divided by 2 there is 2, so I get x squared. So 5 times the square root of 5x squared. I'm sorry, forgot to pull it out. Pull out the x squared, and square root of 5 is left in there. So 4 divided by 2 there is x squared, and that gets pulled out, and you're left with square root of 5. So notice that one and that one end up being exactly the same. All right, so letter F here, kind of thinking through this one. I'm going to go ahead and try to simplify everything since the whole thing is over the numerator and denominator are both underneath square roots. I'm going to write it as one big square root and take care of the division here first, and then see if I have to do anything at the end. So remember with division, the numbers there, I can't reduce them down, so I got to leave them. And then the x is there. I've got square root of x divided by square root of x. I can subtract my powers here, and of course they just cancel each other out. You just get x to 0, which is 1, or you can see you got an x here and you got an x here. They just cancel each other out. The y's there, you can just subtract your powers, but there's more down the denominator, so 3 minus 2 there is 1. So I'm left with a y down here in my denominator. So now we cannot leave the square root down in our denominator. Now this is square root, not cube root. So square root, you need 2 of them. So I'm going to multiply, I'm going to rationalize the denominator. I multiply my numerator and denominator here by the square root of 5y. So in square root of 5y times the square root of 5y, they just undo each other. Or you can think about being square root of 25y squared, which is 5y. And then up here, you can pull them back together underneath the same square root. So the square root of 3 times the square root of 5y is the square root of 15y. Because you can't break those down any farther. You got 3 times 5 times y, and there's nothing in there that occurs twice. So I have to put it back together. So I get the square root of 15y, all divided by 5y. And again, you did that because you cannot leave a square root down your denominator. So now you're going to continue working on your 7-3 worksheet and finish that up.